This summer's been a busy one, the kind of weeks where you blink and suddenly you're 3 projects deep and halfway across the country. So I thought I'd take a moment to slow things down and bring you guys along for a little recap. Some time down in Somerset with good friends, good tools, and a second round at the Wilderness Gathering. I kick things off by visiting Josh from Fyrd Woods. Those of you who don't know him, he's a knife maker and a genuinely great guy. The kind of craftsman who somehow manages to pour character into every steel blank he touches. We caught up in his workshop, surrounded by that familiar mix of steel dust, timber shavings and half-finished ideas. Of all his finished blades, the Evo Pro still stands out as my firm favourite. It's become my go-to on pretty much every trip, balanced, dependable, and made with the sort of care you only get from someone who really loves the craft. We talked steel, edge geometry, and of course this is how designs evolve. As always, I walked out feeling inspired to push my own skills just a little bit further. From there, I headed over to see Sam at Thornwood Forge. This time I wasn't there for blades though, we swapped the forge for stone. Sam's restoring his beautiful hamstone house, so I spent a few days helping him repoint some of the weathered stonework with traditional lime mortar. It's slower, more mindful work, mixing the mortar to the right consistency, pushing it deep into the joints and brushing it back at the right time. Teaching him the process was great, but honestly, the best part was just the time spent together, working side by side, talking and laughing. Plus, loads of little trips out, fishing, and adventuring the local area. These are things that turn acquaintances into proper friends. The next stop was the Wilderness Gathering, my second time at the show, and this year I was jumping in to help out Wild Away Bushcraft, specifically Francis, another talented knife maker and someone I've really enjoyed getting to know. I spent the weekend lending a hand at his stall, covering things so he could step away and actually enjoy the event instead of being tied down all day. It gave me the chance to meet loads of people, chat about kit, and soak in the whole atmosphere of the gathering from the other side of the table. This year, I wasn't in the truck. Yes, I know, heartbreak. Instead, I had the new project campervan. No insulation, no furnishings, no finishing touches whatsoever. But somehow, the temperature was perfect and it became a fantastic base of operations for myself, parked next to a good friend Dexter. The show itself was brilliant. Familiar faces everywhere, pioneers of the bushcraft community, makers, teachers and enthusiasts. We watched some incredible demonstrations and learnt some interesting facts, especially about things like Amadou.
Wow, that is incredibly soft.
That's a few hours work.
Oh yes. Not an easy thing to process. That's insane.
That's mad.
How long would it take as a whole, would you say?
So, I mean, it depends how committed you are.
Yeah.
You get a small bit.
Yeah.
So I normally stick to like a 2-year-old horse hoof.
Yep.
Take it straight off the tree, take off the spore tubes and the cuticle,
yeah,
and then start stretching it. That's the bit you can't determine, but it could be a couple of hours, but you can use it literally the same day.
That's amazing.
You don't have to use all the urine and beat and boil.
No.
You can take it straight from the tree and stretch it and use it.
Wow, yeah.
So it'll take a coal flame from a pyrite and flint.
Yeah.
Or you can use flint and steel on it, and that'll work even better because it's a hotter.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. Look at that, guys.
Yeah.
You would not believe it. Brilliant work.
Yeah, thank you.
Another particular highlight of the gathering this year was getting the chance to watch a full prehistoric deer-butchery demonstration from Theresa, one of the participants in the Alone series. There's something incredible about seeing a skill that ancient beings carried out right in front of you. No modern shortcuts, no stainless steel, just knowledge, technique, and an absolute respect for the animal. Theresa walked everyone through each stage with this calm confidence, the kind that only comes from years of doing things the hard way and the honest way. Every cut had purpose, every movement flowed into the next. Standing there watching, you can't help but feel connected to the past. It's like you're seeing something humans have been doing for thousands of years, and you're reminded just how deep these skills truly run. It was raw, fascinating, and one of those moments that stays with you long after the show's packed up. That's the thing with this show. It allows you the time and the space for overdue catch-ups, good laughs, and to make good stories. Like with Tom, Back Garden Bushcraft, a great friend who I hadn't seen in a long time, since his wedding in fact.
Hey, Tom.
Hey!
How we doing, boy?
Yeah, I've had a really good day.
Good to see you.
Really nice to see you.
Yeah, and you also. It's only a quick one, but yeah, we've been spending the day at the Wilderness Gathering together, so I'm sure there'll be a Woadsman podcast coming out soon.
Yep, absolutely.
But after all the miles and the conversations, I found myself thinking about next year. Summer has this way of racing past before you've even had the chance to appreciate it properly. So I've been taking a bit more time to reflect and to step back and think about what's next. More proper expeditions, more time in the woods, in the hills, by the fire. More projects with friends, more faces, new and old. If this summer was about connections and groundwork, then next year is going to be about getting out there and really making the most of it.
Is trying to do that in one go. You'll find, especially with a larger knife than this, by the time you get to here, you sometimes run out of stone.